Hello everyone, my name is Aniko and I would like to share with you my final project for Manchester called ShareASkill app. First of all, let me tell you about my main initial throughout the project, and that was learn as much as possible. So sometimes I went down on the toughest roads and it was quite a struggle sometimes, but finally I feel it worth it. So let me tell you about the project first. Basically, it's a Google Map based application, and I have two types of users. One of them who has a skill to share, any kind of skill, and the other type of user is someone looking for a service. Let's go for the backend first. So the backend is basically quite a simple database. That one was new because I used MongoDB with Mongoose, and to make it even a little bit more interesting, for testing I used a Docker, so Mongo is running in a Docker container, and for the live database I use Atlas. As you can see, it's a simple Express RESTful API with the usual routes like get, post, and then get by ID, update and delete by ID. The models, the main model is the user. That's what it gets sent back to the front end. And the data is coming mainly from the front end. So the first few fields will be familiar later on when we get there to the front end. The two additional one is the longitude and the latitude. The reason why I needed them because the Google Map markers works on longitude and latitude. So that is the reason for the existence of the other model is the geocoding, which has again the postcode with the related latitude and longitude. Now how it works, let me show you in Atlas. So basically, as you can see, the geocoding collection has already quite a few postcode in it. But if some data is coming from the front end with a postcode in it, and that postcode isn't already in that collection, then the API makes a call to Google Map API and gets the longitude and the latitude related to the postcode. So this way we were trying to save some calls to the Google Map API. And then from here, the user's collection picks it up and it's ready to send it back to the front end. Testing-wise, I tested every scenario I could think of. So I hope I'm pretty much covered here. And the app was deployed on Heroku. As for the front end, we have two main pages. One of them is the view skills and with the Google Map, and the other one is the manage skills. So that's where you can add a skill if you have any. So let's try. So you can add a name and a title. Let's make it coding, and the description should be hard work. And the postcode, I intentionally do not complete the postcode. As you can see, these little ticks, it's showing that the required fields are already filled. I'm going to make my services for free now, and at the moment, hopefully I'm professional already, or at least getting there. And add my email address. If I click on the add button right now, then the postcode will be highlighted as incorrect. So I'm going to add the proper postcode, and hopefully if I click on it now, it says skill is added, and that's the ID number of the skill. So for those users who are looking for a skill, this is the page. So basically, let's imagine that I live in London. Then the map centers to London area, and I can change the radius. For now, go for medium. And then, as this is a demo database, my people in it can either sing or cook. So let's search for those who can cook. As you can see, the number of the markers is already less. Look for those who do that for free, even less. So as you can see that the green ones are the professional surveys and the red ones are the non-professional. So let's see this guy here. So her name is Eve, and if I click on this button, I can send an email to her straight away. Again, the new thing about it that I didn't use any third-party React Google Map libraries. First of all, because they are not official, sometimes not updated. And the second one, that I couldn't find the necessary functionality in them. So I thought that it would be a good chance for me to learn how to work with that library, with the third-party API. So finally, I had to dynamically load the Google Map API to the global window object, and then I had to create the map components with the markers. Testing-wise, again, I tested quite a lot of things. I'm not saying there is no room for improvement, but as you can see, for example, in this search form, this is the test setup, and then later on there is a snapshot test, and if the elements are rendered properly, and then the search form function and the radio buttons functions are also tested. The app was deployed on GitHub pages, as you've seen it before, and if I had more time, I would have added a login so the users could manage their own skills, like updating and deleting them. Thank you very much for listening.